Hello, everybody. I would like to welcome you to another episode of Conversations with 3J. Whether you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, or evening, just want to welcome you into today's conversation. Please remember, if you are enjoying the conversation here on the podcast, I need you to like, subscribe, share this with somebody else that you think what is shared today may help them, encourage them, uplift them on this day. I just want to stop in real quick and have a conversation with you about having a good name and networking. Recently, I was talking with someone about, my job and the work that I do. I'm a manager at an organization or a department. And someone basically asked me, how did you get into management? I said I did not apply when I had my first management job. I've been either supervisor or manager for the last about 11 years. And my first supervisor job was based off networking, based off my good name. A company that I used to work for, the plant manager, director over the plant, was looking for a supervisor. And somebody spoke about me. I used to work in the lab for that same company, but I had moved, worked for the company in another state, came back home, had some other jobs, was just, working, taking care of my family. And I basically got a cold call from one of the other managers and said, "Hey, we got a supervisor position open. I told the plant manager about you and they want you to come in for an interview." Did the interview with the hiring manager. Now, what was crazy is that the direct hiring manager, the person I would answer to, did not want to hire me. I was not their pick. But the plant manager said I was their pick, that they didn't care what the hiring manager said. I was the person that they wanted. And why am I telling you this testimony, this story? The Bible says in Romans, I believe it's the 14th chapter, that don't let your good be evil spoken of. It's very important for us to have a good name. So the quality of our work, the way that we talk to people, the way that we present ourselves to others, you never know when your name is coming up. You never know how people are talking about you in other rooms and other areas. And when someone is speaking about us, we want to make sure that they're speaking good of us. Now, can people speak badly about us? Yes, they can. Can people throw salt on our name, as we say in the world? Or can people hate on us? Yes, they can. But I believe that there will be opportunities that we all have in life where someone can speak good of you, your work. I'm a person that when I approach work, I like to approach my work with a lot of consistency. My timeliness and being at work, the job that I do, I'm a very structured and regimented person. I do my best to respect everyone that I work with, whether you're an authority over me, if I'm your boss, I'm very big on respect. Now, about 20 some years ago, did I misuse respect? Did I respect all my bosses? No, I did. But at the age I am now, I've gone through some things and I've learned a lot of things. So it doesn't matter if you're my staff member, if you're my boss, if you're my colleague, if you work with me. I'm big about respect. I'm big about consistency in the workplace. But in most places that I've worked, I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've gotten, especially in management, because it's been based off my good name. That people have been able to speak good about me and my work and how I treat others. And it has opened doors for me, even in my current management position. I started out as a supervisor. I was made the interim manager when the other manager left a month after I started. Then I became the permanent manager. And my former boss, who recently retired, said he looked at my resume, he heard about my work, and he pretty much handpicked me to be the manager. Now, being a man of faith, I also know that that is the favor and the grace of God that is on my life. I know that it's nothing that I've done, but in all of the work that I do it unto God. That the same way I approach my job, I approach everything else in life. I try to give 100% effort in everything that I do because I understand that even though I give honor to those that have rule over me, I give honor to my boss, I give honor to the work, but ultimately, God is watching everything that I do. So when I go to work, when I deal with my staff, and even in past jobs, I've come to the realization that God, this job is just a source, but you, God, are my resource. Because there have been times in my life when I didn't have a job, when I was trying to figure out where I was going to work. And God kept me. God provided for me. So everything that I do is to give God the glory. So with having a good name, being respectable, being punctual, being consistent is also the favor of God. When we understand that what we do is unto the Lord, come on. As I said in Romans 14, it says, let not your good be evil spoken of. When your name comes up, what are people saying about you? What are they saying about your work? What are they saying about your punctuality? What are they saying about the history of you? How did you treat somebody? What are people saying about you? Sometimes when people can speak well of us, one of the hardest things that I have to do as a manager, I've had times when staff members, other managers within my organization, they will ask me, hey, this person applied for this job. Tell me about them. I believe as being as positive as possible. I don't want to stop anybody from advancing, getting promoted, getting to the career job that they want. I'm gonna paint you. I'm not gonna lie. No, I do not lie. But I will pick all of the good about you. But then I've had other managers and directors ask me, now, Jermaine, tell me the negatives. Tell me what they need to work on. What I've discovered is that we all have something to work on. We all have areas that we need to be better and to do better. So even though when our name is good, there's always places that can be identified where we need to improve. And that's where sometimes I struggle as a manager because I have to be honest about where a person needs to work at or the things about them that don't reflect that well on their character. I got to talk about it. Even me, even though I've been blessed with opportunities in work and not just work, in my personal life, things I do in ministry, because I have a good name, I know that God has opened doors for me and given me opportunities. But are there areas in my life that I need to work on? Absolutely. I try to be very conscious of the areas where I need to improve. Because when you have a good name, and let's tie that into networking, when we talk about opportunities, it's not always about what you know, but it's about who you know. And I know people will say, well, it don't matter who I know, but sometimes that's how the world works. Some jobs and opportunities we get will be based on who we know. I attended a stakeholders meeting with these other businesses and organizations, something that's been happening on a yearly basis within my own area that I didn't know about. But I was networking, reconnecting with an old classmate, an old friend who invited me to the stakeholder meeting. I ended up getting other resources for my organization, resources for families, opportunities to bring some of these the leads and the head of these organizations to speak and be featured in certain things. But had I not had a good name, had I not had an opportunity, had I not had the ability to network, I might have missed out on this amazing meeting where I met a lot of other leaders and professionals. Me and this friend, this classmate of mine, we reconnected at a memorial service that someone asked me to be the MC at. That because of my faith in God, because of how I carry myself as a man of God, because I have a good name, because I know people, because I was networking, it was an opportunity not only for me to serve that family for the memorial, but at the memorial, reconnecting with old classmates and friends, networked and got me another opportunity to meet other businesses and leaders and professionals that I can continue to work with. But what if my name wasn't good? What if I wasn't carrying myself in a respectable manner? Would someone had called me to, be the master of ceremony of a memorial service? Would I have been able to connect with that person? One of the things that, even as I do my podcast, you all see me do interviews. One of the most humbling things that was said about me when I did an interview on this podcast is somebody said, "You've always been a good guy, a decent guy. So when you call me, because this person said, I really don't like to speak. I really don't like to do podcasts, but because it's you, I'll do it because you've always been a good person. So it's very important for us to have a good name. To understand having a good name, it's good to network. I know you got people that say, well, I'm going to go figure it out, do it on my own. But it's good to know people. Knowing the right people can get you in rooms, opportunities, in areas that maybe you couldn't do it on your own. Recently, as we get to come to the close of this episode, I was telling one of my children that's looking for a job, young teenager. I said, people that work at other places that are your age, and they're helping their friends get into jobs. I'm learning that as young people, a lot of ways some of them are getting jobs because they network, they collaborate with their friends. So I told my child, you need to collaborate with these people to get the job. My very first job that I got at 16, it wasn't because I was qualified. My mama helped me get the job. She knew the person that worked in the department, the head of the department. She spoke to them and said, my son needs a job. And because I was a pretty well behaved kid, I had good grades, good mannerisms, I knew the person that was the head of the department. They blessed me with an opportunity to have my first job at 16. So for my life, a lot of the opportunities I've had for jobs and different things I've done for work has been because of having a good name and being able to network with the right people. So please, I just wanted to share this with you today. Don't let your good be evil spoken of. Don't allow your behaviors, your actions, and what you say to cause you to miss out on opportunities that should be allotted to you. Your name means something. How you behave, how you act. And even if you have the wrong action or reaction, be humble enough to go back and apologize. Because it's crazy how this world is connected, how different people know each other, run into each other, and different situations happen. I've had to speak good about a lot of people. I have met people that say, oh, you know this person? That's crazy. They're applying for a job. What can you tell me about them? I could tell you all endless stories. I've had people that have come to me and said, hey, I need you to be a reference. And there are times I've been in general conversation and have connected with people that know somebody that I worked with that's applying for a job and say, hey, if you knew this person, what was your experience working with them? It's crazy how we're connected. What do we say? Man, it's a small world. But I'm a person that I prefer to speak good, to give high accommodations to someone because I know that people have done it for me and it has opened doors. And guess what? It's still opening doors for me. I am still getting opportunities in my life, in ministry, in the community, in the job that I work for. That because my name is good, I continue to get opportunities where by the grace of God. So it's not just a good name. I have to acknowledge God. I'm sorry. That's just me. Some people gonna think it's all them, but I know it's the hand of God that is on my life. And he continues to bring me before great men. He continues to open doors for me. But when God opens the door, the rest is on me. Because God can bless me with opportunities, but if I go in there with the wrong attitude, the wrong mindset, the wrong disposition, I can squander and lose those opportunities that God has allotted me. So there's still some work that I have to do on my part. And at this age of my life, I am more conscious than ever of my responsibility. So I just want to encourage you today. Be mindful of how you speak, how you show up, how you work, your level of consistency, because sometimes we'll be real good at work, but then we'll go home or around family, friends, or other things, and we won't work as hard. We'll volunteer places and say, well, I'm volunteering, you ain't giving me no check. But the same energy you give your job, give that to every area of your life. Be punctual, be persistent. Work with a mindset that I want to be almost as perfect as possible. I want to work with flawlessness if I can. And if you make mistakes, acknowledge the mistakes you made. Be willing to be humble. Be willing to ask for forgiveness. Be willing to say, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I will do better. It works, and it is working for you. So having a good name and the power of networking. And by the grace and mercy of God, I'm thankful for the opportunities that are coming to each and every one of you. You're looking at somebody who's just not talking about this, but I have lived it my entire life. But once you get that opportunity, once you go into that open door, be ready to do your part. Man, thank y'all once again for joining me on Conversations with 3J. And one last thing before I go. Don't worry about the missed opportunities. Some I can testify that I have squandered some of the opportunities that I've gotten, but I'm thankful to God for when they came back around. So when your opportunity comes back, if you get a second opportunity, I hope you learn from the last mistake, the last mishap. Do better next time. Be aware that I'm getting a second chance at this again. Take advantage of that opportunity, do the right things, and see it all the way through. Thank y'all for joining me for today's conversation. Man, y'all have a blessed day, blessed evening, depending on when you're watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Conversation with 3J, and we'll see y'all next time for another conversation. Y'all have a good one.